we're gonna walk through some of these Charlie Kirk protests that happened. Not Charlie Kirk, I'm sorry, Turning Point protests that happened at USC Berkeley. We're just gonna thumb through and take a look at some of these videos and and watch the insanity of the left.
So many unhinged people here already. Like, look at this. Look. This is the liberals too.
Right, go behind us.
What the? Literally, this is the stuff conservatives have to deal with because you have unhinged liberals. This is the we're dealing with. Genuinely insane. What is wrong with people? This is genuinely insane.
It's funny because when you ask these people what fascism means, and they actually have no idea. This activity right here is the epitome of what fascism is. Shutting down speech you do not like is fascism. But let's continue. This guy right here was beat up because he was handing out T-shirts, and the guy came up and snatched his chain and punched him in the face, like I think it was like 15 times, and they ended up arresting him, the guy that was handing out the T-shirts.
So I just got to the Charlie Kirk event, and there's literally
A night of protests turns bloody at the final stop of the controversial college tour. Several protesters taken into custody outside the Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Ashley. The conservative group's nationwide tour ended tonight here in the Bay Area, and that stop comes exactly 2 months ago to the day when founder Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the first event of the tour in Utah. For this breaking news update, let's go to ABC 7 News reporter Frances Wang. She's live on the Cal campus where the event just wrapped up not long ago. Frances, you saw a lot of protesters and a lot of security, too.
Yeah, Dan, organizers expected these protesters, many of them showing up hours before doors even opened. There were some tense, even violent moments you can imagine with protesters and attendees just standing within inches of each other. At one point, police even had to move the line.
Where were you 2 months ago today when you heard Charlie had been shot?
The Turning Point USA tour ended here at UC Berkeley with hundreds packed into Zell.
What is wrong with people where you can't go to a public event and stand out there and go in and what if conservative people showed up to all these events and made asses of themselves, and just any event, it didn't matter. Let's say, what was that play? I can't remember now. I think it was Jesus Christ Superstar just recently, where they had the bald lady playing Jesus and all that. What if Christians showed up there and acted like idiots out there and rampaged through and caused havoc?
Zellerbach Hall. Outside, students and other demonstrators chanted and protested throughout the night.
They're using our facilities and resources to do it, which I think is just crazy. It's like, go somewhere, we don't want you here.
Events like this should never happen on this campus or anywhere again.
As people here for the Turning Point USA event gathered here in line, they have just been let in, but as you can see, the protesters are upset, yelling at police who are standing there ready with riot gear. Tensions escalated. smoke bombs erupted, creating chaos and confusion. At least one person was hurt, multiple arrested. Attendees and supporters of Turning Point's founder Charlie Kirk not deterred.
When you see someone that courageous with their faith, you're like, why am I not that courageous with my faith? I want to be that courageous with my faith. I should be not afraid to wear a shirt that says Jesus on it, even though everyone looked at me today and gave me dirty looks. It's like, that's okay.
I want to encourage free ideas expression. I don't want one side to dominate the other. And I think there's valid points on both sides.
Speakers, including actor Rob Schneider, questioning free speech here on campus. And addressing the protesters outside.
You're coming from a place of emotion. And that's tough.
Even without Kirk, the night and Turning Point USA tour concluded with his signature Prove Me Wrong format. Attendees given time to line up and ask questions or share their points of view.
Leftists can't control their emotions.
Issues which many of the speakers
It's
blamed
just
on the
plain as that.
university.
They just
As for
can't
the
control
protesters,
themselves.
They remained outside throughout the entire event. They remained until the attendees were let out, chanting and yelling at the people here at Turning Point USA tonight. Police essentially had to escort many of those attendees out and on. As people here for the Turning Point USA event gathered here in line, they have just been let in, but as you can see, the protesters are upset, yelling at police who are standing there ready with riot gear. Tensions escalated. Fights, fireworks, smoke bombs erupted, creating chaos and confusion. At least one person was hurt, multiple arrested. Attendees and supporters of Turning Point's founder Charlie Kirk not deterred.
When you see someone that courageous with their faith, you're like,
Less than 24 hours ago, there were Berkeley students who were arrested for protesting the event. They were big bug. Yes. They held
pictures of that being
right.
Taken down. Sorry, you were going to ask a question.
No, totally fine. They hung a big bug over Sather Gate. It's about 5 feet tall, and now those three students are arrested, right? Would you say that the students being arrested is in fact a violation of free speech?
Do you want to answer this one, or I can answer this too?
No, it all depends on the specific situation. Overall, I disagree definitely for protesting, but it all depends on what happened during those incidents.
They hung a bug over the gate. What did the bug? What was it representing? I don't know.
Okay, when people's getting violent and then refuse, then of course there's those kind of reasons. Okay, so I mean, it's not in the individual situations.
It was a peaceful protest where the students were arrested for hanging a big bug.
Oh, I'm completely against that.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say was that, like, in terms of like the little bit of reporting that I saw, like I literally just learned of this like tonight, like before I came out here. So just from the image, context is important. Context is really important. So like if it was violent or what have you, like I mean there was some violence earlier here tonight and it got broken up. That's not okay. But also at the same time, like if all they were doing was hanging a piece of art, I mean art is a form of protest and it's a form of expression. So again, like if it wasn't hurting anybody, I don't see why they necessarily needed to be incarcerated.
Right. So do you believe that the university's silence on the matter, not helping them, is sort of contradicting to their openness to have Turning Point on here, as the university claims to be advocating for free speech?
I mean, it's definitely a complicated issue. Like we've talked about earlier tonight, like UC Berkeley campus is the home of the free speech movement. So like it really does beg the question of like whose free speech is allowed. Time will tell if the campus does or doesn't do anything to, affect the situation of those students. I personally would hope that they would. I don't know what they can do, but at the same time, like again, like I feel like incarceration is a little over the top for 3 or 4 students who were just making a piece of, as far as I understand, making a piece of art and hanging it up.
Yes. Okay. Less than 24 hours ago, there were Berkeley students who were arrested for protesting the event. They
Leftists just constantly watching these TikTok clips. They cannot control their emotional response. It's like no self-control. It's like we're angry and we're gonna lash out.
Breaking news. UC Berkeley right now looks like a war zone. Smoke, shouting, barricades.
A night of protests turns bloody at the final stop of the...
Look how emotionally distraught these young kids are. Just look how emotionally distraught these young kids are. I mean, it's like angry that someone is there that has a different view than they have. People that are walking into this venue peacefully and they are unhinged.
So I just got to the Charlie Kirk event, and there's literally
Our live look over Berkeley.
They told us to stop.
The truth is, Berkeley has been a cesspool for a long time with their nonsense. But just to put us, Berkeley is on the cusp of Seattle and Portland, where they have the liberal. I shouldn't call them liberal. The leftists. I'm going to say the far left leftists, progressives, have just totally lost their minds. Their emotional expression is uncontrollable.
Yesterday at UC Berkeley, they were having a Turning Point event, and there were protesters outside. So as you know, Turning Point USA was started by Charlie Kirk. And we all know what happened to Charlie Kirk. I just want to know what's wrong with these people. Like, there's really something wrong with these people.
A night of protests turns blood. A night of protest.
The people over at Turning Point USA are actually doing things civilly. They're having a conversation. Nobody is forced to go. You see what I'm saying? Nobody is required to be there. And so you see people with pink hair and people that are angry at the idea of having conservatives on campus having a civil discussion and a conversation, and now they are out there rioting. So when we hear people say that they are the tolerant left, or, you know, they believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and diversity of thought, and different people joining in and participating in a conversation, I'm telling you that demons are at the front door, and I cannot be any more clear than that. And the reason that I say that is because they are advocating and angry against people turning their lives over to being conservative and being more Christian-like and spiritual, and how they lead their lives. And now they're angry, they look crazy, they're on campus protesting and getting into confrontations with the police.
What he said.
So how can you now tell me that they are tolerant? How can you tell me that they believe in diversity? How can you tell me that they are willing to debate points and that they're not actually angry and evil?
Because they're not willing to
they
debate.
had no purpose on that campus. She just said that they shouldn't they're not supposed to be there. This is institutions of higher learning. We have always had civil debates, except for the recently over the last 10 to 15 years. We've always had civil debates. We've always had diversity and inclusion as far as people from the left and people from the right. We've always had diversity when it comes to different spiritual beliefs. So why now are they angry at people having a conversation on a college campus that is sanctioned and nobody is actually getting hurt? They'd actually protest this before they protest to stand up for what they believe.
Antifa turned Turning Point's event at UC Berkeley into an absolute war zone. Attendees were rushed into the venue while Antifa lit munitions on fire outside, real explosives right there on campus. This isn't peaceful protest. It's organized chaos, it's political intimidation, and the goal is simple: silence anyone who dares to think differently. And if that's not sick enough for you, Antifa was caught yelling, "F you dead homie," mocking the assassination of Charlie, mocking the death of an innocent man. Just think about that for a second.
What do you hope to achieve by coming out here to counter protest?
So a lot of people here just tend to be very close-minded. You hear resources from only one source of information, and that's difficulty. I was trapped in that same thing. I grew up in Florida, so I grew up with a very big, still very supportive of the Republican Party family, and a lot of their information that they get only comes from one side. And so the entire purpose of this is to be a source of people who will present the information from another side, who will allow people to maybe open their minds for a minute and just read this form. You can crumple it up, throw it away if you want to afterwards, but reading it may just open your mind and show you the actual statistics behind what is truly happening in our country.
What do you hope to achieve by coming out here to counter protest?
I don't know if they realize, but the war is over. We're going to be handing out job applications today. So, they're on the move. Let's go. Wait, let's make a good, that's a good point. So they say, what does our tuition fund, right? They're paying tuition to be at the University of Oklahoma, so they're, in theory, funding their own genocide. Make that make sense. Funding their own genocide by paying money to the university. So if they truly cared about the genocide in Gaza, they wouldn't be paying tuition to the university, and they would unenroll for the spring semester. So make that make.
All right, so I'm gonna end this live, but watching the Turning Point protest against the Turning Point event was kind of disturbing, and I think a lot of them out there were wearing I can't even say it, the scarves that they wear in the Middle East, and they were pro-Palestine protesters, which I kind of don't understand why they're there, protesting that they need to free Palestine. When Trump actually freed Palestine, I, I don't know. I'm trying to understand the emotional response from the left, but maybe going through and watching these videos and getting into this more, I will be able to understand their nonsense. All right, I will check you guys on the next live stream. Thanks for plugging in.